welcome back to my playthrough of Star Trek Frontiers. Yes, it had to happen. I pretty much played this Call to Glory incorrectly because yes, here's a hand, here's a special symbol. I really didn't pay attention here. And yes, this would have been my interaction, but it was not the last video, it was the video before. So it's even tougher to take it back now. So in theory, I believe I had one interaction too much. I believe in the very same turn, I still then moved. I mean, I could have moved before, but then I also attacked, I think it was the Borg sphere. On the other hand, I also played it incorrectly that the Borg spheres are not played up face up. So overall, there's really not a lot to take it back. But I still decided to punish myself at least somewhat. During the very last turn of the last day, I moved here. But then I think I left a comment that I later on decided to move back here. I think I will not allow myself to do that. And on top of that, I also got a data crystal from my interaction, because again, I had one interaction too much. I will give that crystal back. So at least this cleans up a little bit. And yeah, so you don't think I'm cheating. I think overall it didn't really matter that much, because I would have been able to take out that in the next turn or so, because there was not a lot of meaningful stuff I did, but maybe not. I really didn't watch the episode as a whole again, but I think it really didn't matter that much. With that being said, let's move into, and again, sorry, and yeah, always appreciate your input, guys. So this is really helpful, and yeah, makes me better at this game, understand the game better. So really appreciate all these comments. Keep them coming. So let's go into the next day. I get to choose first. My starting hand wasn't bad, but also not great. So maybe I again want to go with evaluation. And that's really a thing with a solo game. You're really switching between 2 or 3 of these cards. This is nice. This apparently, you can announce another turn. Yes, this could matter if you're really running out of time, for example. But I really feel that these cards, yeah, I would really have appreciated if there would be some more select for the solo play, that is. So yeah, let's go with the evaluation. I think that's fine. So we can discard up to 3 cards. We don't have any damage in our hand. I think that's at least something. But the thing is, we could get it back, right? So we will discard the synthesized data for now. I think the isolytic burst is also too soon, and the same could be true for the pulse torpedo shields right now. I'm really hoping for some more diplomacy to show up, because then I could still heal Mova, who's really severely wounded. So let's draw 3 replacement cards. Yes, of course, another attack. Yeah, here's the damage, but I think we could get rid. And call to arms could be beneficial, but this I will not forget. I will reshuffle those 3 cards back into the deck, and then I have to live with what I have. But keep in mind, I can discard this damage card here too and redraw another card. But there is still a chance I get some diplomacy. Before we do, let's see what card they will get. We will go first anyway. It doesn't really change too much, so that's planning apparently. Those 2 cards will be available next round. So yeah, it's pretty much our turn now, and apparently we will discard this damage card with our skill token here to replenish it, and that's another move. Again, we have no this sucks so badly, guys. No diplomacy whatsoever. Now I have 3 diplomacy cards in my deck, and none of those showed up. Really, I mean, I have redrawn 4 cards now already, plus the 6 I'm drawing anyway. And basically, that's, I think, 10 cards in total, and none of those showed any diplomacy. That really sucks. It really does. So before we do anything else, I think let's reveal this Borg cube. Again, I played that incorrectly. Those will come into the game revealed to Borg sphere. Did I say Borg cube? Borg sphere, whatever. Yeah, I mean, these are all beatable. And with 9, I could not even level up because I'm at 70 experience points. And I think this time I didn't forget. So even if I would go here and defeat it, which would be awfully expensive to move there, that's 6 movement points here, I believe. Yep, that's the case. Taking this guy out not a bad idea, but also doesn't really help us. I could now debate if I want to prepare myself for later rounds. We have still 2 more full days, keep that in mind. And maybe, simply as boring as it sounds, move down to a location like this here, for example, research station. This gives me at least some data crystal. In this case, only quote-unquote a blue one. Blue, don't really need that many blue crystal, but at least it's something, so I could use it for at least I have at least one undiscovered card that needs a blue data crystal or blue data. So I think overall that would not be that bit of a deal. And then I could still hope to get some diplomacy cards for drawing and to get here. Because again, I really want and need to heal Mova here. I mean, this Shields 5 here is really so incredibly important. Also, or maybe the long range photon torpedo attack of 6, which is also wow. I mean, with that, we could easily take out, for example, yeah, this Borg cube here. Easily. I mean, it's only a resistance of photon pulse, I believe. And with 6 long range attack, boom, this guy is no more. And we don't need to worry about it. And with all the rest, for example, this guy here, we could defend with War, for example. So not thinking about those disruptors here. So basically 2 out of those would have been taken care of. And wow, I mean, but we don't have Mova. Maybe I really should have healed him much sooner. I had a lot of diplomacy at the end of my last day, but I chose to go for additional cards and whatnot. Maybe this will come back to haunt me. Okay, but I really have to do something this day, or this round. Maybe I really need to go after this Dominion starbase down there. I think that should be, yeah, let's go for that. So we need to come up with, but nothing really adjacent where I could go there. Okay, here we draw at least some more cards. I think at least 2 more cards because I control, yeah, that's cool. So I think that that's still okay. So we need 6 movement points. So we will power up this one here with a yellow die. So that's move 4. Then we play this here, basically another move 2, so overall move 6. So we are adjacent to that Dominion starbase, and I think then we want to take this guy out. They have this energy dissipator, so we really don't want to take any damage from those guys, because otherwise we don't have any cards in our hand. Isn't that nice? We will not be able to leverage any long range attack, right? No, I don't think so. The thing is, we should be okay with Cisco here, because photon pulse shields, this is photon pulse attack, so he basically blocked that damage. Nicely done. Now we need to come up with 8 damage, unless we are using photon torpedoes, which we don't have, I believe, but they lose 2 defense here too, because again we have our, I already forgot, I think it's, is it tactics? I think it's tactics or so. So they are losing pretty much 2 defense points for each of them. So they're only at 2, so we don't really need that awful lot of damage. So we can simply go with those 2 tokens here. Those are 4 times 2 is enough to take out these guys here. Okay, that was definitely nice. We are losing 1 reputation though. That's okay, I guess, but for that we gain at least 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But what's more important, we are able to claim 1 undiscovered card. And right now I'm debating for those 2 here. I mean, a long-range pulse torpedo attack is nice. The thing is, we already have a lot of yellow cards in order to power them up. So I think getting another yellow card, we won't have enough data, I guess. At least that's a chance. The stasis field is amazing. Target enemy does not attack during this combat. So similar to what Riker can do. If we could do that twice, that's insane, right? I think I will go with the stasis field. And if we will be able to get both of those, play this card, destroy target enemy token. So that's a similar thing like our, we have this weapon, right? I already forgot this. No, not tachybeam. I don't know. Isolytic cannon or so, burst or so. So I think they really go together pretty well. So let's go with a stasis field undiscovered card. We'll put it on top of our deck. We will replenish a new card. Ignore all enemy resistance this turn. You must be kidding me. Okay, would have been the perfect card, but that's okay. But unfortunately, one thing I forgot, of course, we are beamed or moved onto the station, so I'm no longer adjacent to my Romulan starbase here. Okay, that's kind of a waste, but that's what it is. I think it was still worth it getting this undiscovered card. So yeah, let's clean up this mess. Let's re-roll that die. That's a white one. I take that. Let's draw our replacement cards. Okay, no surprise here. And okay, some move. Okay, that's maybe not bad at all. We need to move it all after all. And the advanced research. Yeah, okay, that's apparently a great one. We can use the more powerful effect of 2 cards this round if I power it up with the blue one. Nice. But apparently still no diplomacy. Really, that's insane. Let's go over to Lothar and Bitor. 1, 2, and oh gosh, this will be a short round. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And no yellow card came up doing those. Okay, I think the next one might be pretty bad too, but yeah, that's what it is. As I still don't have any diplomacy, I think I really should stick to my original plan. Maybe really moving to one of those research stations here. But oh man, this is so bad. I think we will not achieve anything this round. Oh, I really should have healed him when I had the chance. Wait, okay. That's how we live and learn. So yeah, again, I will power it up with the yellow crystal. So that's 1, 2, or 4 movement points, 2 spaces on the open space. I will end my turn here, so I will not interact with anything. So I'm not drawing any extra card. But the good thing is we will get a blue data crystal into our inventory here. So yeah, let's quickly re-roll the die. Another white one. I take that. That's a good one. Problem is we are only drawing 1 replacement card. You may use 1 additional. Nah, it's nice. I mean, it's really nice, but yeah, not really what we needed, right? But then again, let's draw 1, 2, and 3. Okay, this time we were lucky. So no extra card is being drawn. They have now all colors in their inventory. That's a good one. We don't have any move cards in our hand. Of course, we don't have any diplomacy either. So the good thing is we now have still the call to arms. I will play it correct. I think this will be a preparation round, I guess. So before we do that, I think we need to, play this one here, the inside. You may use 1 additional data die from the core this turn, which means we will play the black one and we will play the white one. So yes, we can now use Call to Glory properly. Again, I will not mess this up. So I'm not moving this round. I will simply do the interaction here, and I can basically from the crew offer for free. But again, that's my interaction. And again, I have to make a choice. So it's either Korok or Bokra. But yeah, I mean 7 and 6. I think that's pretty obvious. Of course, it doesn't provide any... that's maybe a thing. Doesn't provide any long range or any shield. So we are not as versatile. But the amount of damage that this guy is doing is definitely significant. And he's a 10. He has 4 defense only, but that's okay, I would say. Jordi, as nice as he is, but he has some. This is also nice. I mean, that's good flexibility overall. But here's also a long-range photo torpedo attack, and if we can somehow power this with they're all tempting. They're really all tempting. I mean, the photon torpedo attack and the photon pulse torpedo attacks are okay per se, but this guy is pretty much resistant to anything. He doesn't really care too much about photon pulse attack. Same is true here. He doesn't want to see phasers. So, I mean, overall, having now a lot of attack, but the wrong attack doesn't really help me. On the other hand, being able to do long-range photon torpedo attack of 4 could be enough to take out yet another guy. So I think that's definitely worth thinking about. And maybe that's what I should be doing. Taking those guys out early really helps me reduce the amount of damage I'm taking. I mean, that's what it's all about, right? So I think, yeah, let's go with Bokra. So we are now pretty much again at our command level, but we are not too far away getting to our next level. And then we would get yet our last command token. So the maximum amount of crew that you can have is 5. Yeah, I think that's fair. We will re-roll both of those dice. That's the end of our round. Okay, that's not bad. So we have 2 white and a blue. I think we can live with that. On top of that, we again ended our turn on a research station, which means we get yet another blue data crystal. Nice. We get 2 more cards. Yes, of course, damage, but we can get rid of the damage. And now we have the diplomacy. A diplomacy of 5 is definitely something we could use, because with 1 more diplomacy, we could at least generate 1 heal or 3 heal points, which would be enough to get rid of 1 of those damage tokens or wound tokens from Movar. I really want him. I mean, this here is really huge, but also the long range photon torpedo attack apparently. So let's do Lursa and Betor. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, that's a blue one, so only 1 extra card, and that's a yellow one. This helps us, but this round will be over relatively quickly. Then over to us, we will use our skill, this skill here again to get rid of this damage card. This allows us to redraw. We really need some move, guys. And wow, this was really great. That's at least 4 move points, which is definitely something, because it could bring us closer here to this class emblem. Of course, we could only move in here and start healing Mova with our diplomacy, and maybe that's something that we should consider, because we now have the diplomacy, and I think this time I will do it right, huh? Yes. Okay. Problem is I don't get anything here. When I go here, I could get at least a white data crystal, but then I won't interact. So I think let's start to interact. On the other hand, if I move in here, get the white data crystal and hope for something, whatever, getting a new card. And I'm closer to, no, I think that's the better deal. Maybe I get another diplomacy and I could heal him fully. I think that's the better deal. So we will play Explore. We will power up with a blue data, which means we get a move 4. So moving on to this one here. If you end your turn on the Tridog, you can remove from your hand or discard pile. And yes, we do have, of course, a card in our discard pile. So yes, getting rid of those damage cards is never a bad thing. And that at the start of my next turn, I will gain a white data token. So I will not interact with the space in any way, but I think that's still good enough. So let's draw a replacement card. That's another move. Okay, that could still help us. And of course, we have to re-roll. That's a yellow one. Yellow is, I think, not bad at all. So I will give myself this white data token so that I don't forget that I have it. And then we will do Lursa and Betor again. 2 and 3. Another blue ones. Okay. I have basically now the next turn, then they will do their... I think I still have 3 more turns this round, so I think I should be good with that. Yeah, let's hope so at least. The problem is I still don't have enough diplomacy to fully heal Mova. The thing is, I really don't know if I should really fully heal him right now. Maybe I shouldn't do that. But maybe I still want to start healing him. So maybe let's play the move to move us closer here to this planet. Then I want to interact with the planet, so I want to generate some diplomacy. So I'm using this Intimidate here. I will use the data, white data, which I got from this Tridog. So otherwise it's spent anyway. I think I don't have the card which allows me to transform this crystal into a data, or this token into a crystal. That's the proper turn. So I have diplomacy 5. I need at least 1 more to at least heal him. Oof, that sounds awfully wasteful, but I think again the idea was to at least start healing him. So I will play this card here sideways. It's really a waste. It's a shields 2, attack 4. That's not sure if this will come back to haunt me in any way, but I think that's the best I can do right now. So that's a diplomacy of 6. So I can basically buy 3 heal points for that. You can buy 1 point of repair or heal for 2 diplomacy here. So that's pretty much 3 heal points, which is now enough to heal at least this guy here. I mean, that's a start, right? I mean, guys, we have to start somewhere. But that's already the end of my turn. I haven't used any of the dice, but I think that's okay because we have some very cool dice in the offering. So in the core, so let's draw 3 more cards here. We are still not... That's nice. 3, there's the Isolytic Burst. And we can draw an extra card or repair. But right now we don't need any repairs. If that would have been a heal, I could really consider going here again to heal Mova. But maybe it won't happen this day. But at least we started to heal him. But let's see what other cards come up. Maybe I can launch an initial attack and then lick my wounds and whatever, start healing some of those guys. Maybe that's something to consider. But we have to deal with Lurser and Bitor next, so it doesn't really matter what they draw. So they are through their deck, so the next thing they will do is to call for an end of round, so we get 2 more turns this day. So I guess I will not hold on to my repair hull. I will play this card. The problem is, do I want to power it up and draw 2 cards? Because I really have a lot of cards, but I'm using my die, but I have a lot of data crystals here too, and I get tokens, so I think I should be good. So let's spend this one here, the yellow one, to draw 2 cards instead of only 1. I think this might be beneficial because otherwise we are not going for a deck. Now we get the diplomacy, of course, and we get another damage card. Damage is fine because we haven't used our skill here, so we can also use the skill now to redraw a hand, and that's another move which we would also need. Now we have some diplomacy here. We have a diplomacy 4 even. Problem is I cannot use a die again. I could, on the other hand, generate with, I think this one here, generate a red or a gold data token. Well, here's a heal one, but yeah. Okay, with the heal one here and a diplomacy of 4 here, we could, in fact, that's pretty much 4 heal points, right? But it's an ore. So we don't get the red token here. So crappy. Decisions. What am I going to do? I think good thing is here, diplomatic skill. We can use this diplomacy as shields this turn. So really going after that boar cube might not be our worst choice, actually. We will not destroy it, I'm pretty sure about this, but we could try to really take out at least 1 or 2 of those tokens so that for the next day we are pretty much set. Right? What do you think, guys? The main problem still is we cannot use any more dice from the core. We have 2 white data in the core. And of course we have 2 blue data crystals here, and again we can generate 1 red one. So overall we still have 3 data at our disposal, and most of those are good because with this one here, for example, we can pretty much get 2 effects for free anyway. So like this one here, diplomacy 4. Wow. So I think this could really work out. So let me do the math real quick. I mean, I haven't really thought it through 100% because, again, let's enjoy the game, right? It's not a math exercise. So overall, we need to move closer. And I will not be able to take those guys out as a whole, but I think I might do a hell of a lot of damage, actually. So that's a move 2. That's really the easy part, moving next to this Romulan, to this boar cube here. Then we will apparently attack. I don't think that we will go into any long range attack. No, this doesn't make sense, right? No, we don't. Keep in mind they gain some extra attack because they'll get a +2 if they have this kind of attack. Those 2 have actually an attack 8 on 7, and this photon torpedo, or what it is, I think that's the pulse torpedo attack. We don't have that. So I think these are the ones to really need to, and this really doubles the amount of damage we are taking. So we have to do something about that. For that, we will use the stasis field. We will power it up with a blue crystal from our inventory. Yes, let's do that. Which means this guy will not attack this round. Awesome. We still have an awful lot of damage here apparently. Then I will play research. I really would have done that before that in order to gain one red data token, which we need to power Riker. And he says target enemy does not attack this combat. Very nice. Number one. So we, does it matter? I mean, they do 5, they do 6. They all do the same amount of damage to us because of our defense rating of a 4. So they will all hit us once, and then we will basically take a 2 damage card from either of those. So I think it doesn't really matter that much. Apparently here we have to do more damage, but again with Worf that's also not that big of a deal. But I think still let's go with those. So those guys will also not affect. They don't have any extra. On the other day, no, I think no, they do 2 more, right? No, they will not attack because again they have this special ability here. Very nice. Okay, we still have to deal with those guys here. We have to defend from those individually. So the defense is really something I cannot pull up. I can basically, my attack, I can pretty much attack both at the same time and sum up my stuff. Don't have any long range, so it doesn't really make a difference. So I really still have to come up with a hell of a lot of defense points here. Basically, again, it doesn't really matter that much. So let's start defending from this guy here. Apparently we will use Worf. They lose the disruptors, so we have a shields of 4. So they have still 1 more to go. And I'm now thinking of simply sucking it up actually. Yeah, let's do that. So we will take 1 damage card to our hand. Again, they had 1 left over, and then that's all that it is. So we basically have 1 more damage card in our hand. Not that big of a deal. We still have a second token though, so they didn't attack the attack, so we still have to deal with that. So we have to come up with 6 more shields again, and I guess we might now want to leverage. Yeah, oh no, we can't do that, can we? But I think we can still reduce the amount of damage we are taking. So we will play diplomacy. You may use diplomacy as shields this turn. And on top of this, I still have Bokra with the shields of 3. But again, this doesn't help me. Or maybe I should have used Bokra on this guy here instead, because then I would have enough. But maybe I want to use his, maybe I want to use his attack first. I really didn't think it through properly. So yeah, we have basically 2 shields here. So we get 1 more damage card, subtract 4 remaining points, so we have 4 defense. So that's 0. That's 2 damage we have taken out of that first initial attack. That was really not terrible, folks. But I guess then we will hit back, right? So we will play the advanced research here. Again, we have to power it with a blue crystal. So good that we had it. So we get 2 cards, powerful effects of 2 cards for free. Let's start with this one here. During the attack phase of combat, we are now entering attack phase. Target enemy token, gain reputation -2 at the end of your turn. So I guess we will say goodbye to this guy here because he's really tough to defend from for the next round. So bam, this is gone. I will already award myself with -2 reputation because again, I will not interact with an outpost in any way. So I already have taken, we are now at -1, which is still good enough. Awesome. So 1 is out. That's 7 more experience points. Amazing. We can still play another card basically for this. So we can take it another damage to increase this attack to 9. So now I have to really do some counting, which I haven't done yet. So this could be attack 9. We have still attack 4 here if we want so, and keep in mind we still have the reduction here for those resistances. So I now have the choice if I want to basically attack them as a whole, but then all the resistances are basically together. So in theory the best I can do right now is to have those two guys together or those two guys together, because they already have, they're sharing the same resistance, so they're not really gaining anything for that. The thing is, apparently it's now then doubled, because everything I have is standard attacks, unless, yeah, of course I still have this one here, but again, doesn't really matter. I could take those guys out relatively easily if I would opt, but then I think I have too much defense. So I really have to do, again, some calculations now. And keep in mind, because of this one here, they really only have, basically, this is a 2 defense, and he only has a 4. So that's really, really beatable, actually. But no, I was too quick. Of course, I can only use that once per turn. So I would assign this to this one here. So that's a 4. That's a 3, and then we double it. So it's 7, so it's 14 damage points I need to come up with. Again, this could be 9. Yeah, I think that's not a big of a deal, right? This is 9, this is 11, this is 13, but I won't take them all both, but that's okay. I mean, then it's only this token here left. Oof. Yeah, so again, I get the thing, I get a damage for that, but it's still okay, I guess. And then again, 14, right? So 4 plus 3 times 2, because again, it's now ineffective, the weapons I'm using. So that's 14 points. So we have 9, 13 points. Yeah, then we will activate Bokra here for another attack 3, which is now really enough to take out both of those guys. But again, it was awfully expensive. I really spent all my crystals, majority of my cards, but I think overall this was definitely worth it. So awesome. So you will take another point of damage because of this honor attack here, but again, those guys are out of here. So I really hope I haven't messed things up too badly, but I think I should be okay. So one I have taken out with my isolytic burst, and the rest goes with honor and all my tokens. And I really hope I haven't messed this one up here. I'm not sure if I have used it twice or not. If I find this, then I might have to award myself with another point of damage. But again, that's not that big of a deal in the end. So that's 12, 19 points. So wow, 84 and 94 experience points. That's not bad. We will level up, so we gain our very last token here, command token, and this also means our hand size just increases. Sorry for the glare here, but yeah, we are now at a hand size of 7, which is really important, thinking about all those damage cards we have in our hand here. We can get rid of one of those with this token here, so don't forget that. But overall, that was pretty successful turn, I would say. So yeah, let's do some cleanup. Let's draw the 4 remaining cards. Now we have some diplomacy, so in theory we could again try getting after and healing Movar, for example. Then for the very last day we should be really able to take out the remaining defenders there. Nice. Yeah, let's also roll that die here. Cool, red one. Again, we already know that Lothar and Betor will call for the end of the round here, which is fine with me. And then we have our last turn this day already. So once again, we will use our resilient skill to discard that damage card. So let's draw. We have still 2 more cards in our deck. And we have some pulse torpedo shields. And if we play our hand of cards right, no, I don't think we have enough attack actually. Ooh, that's now really tempting. Maybe we could be able, because the only resistance they have is pulse, whatever it is. I mean, photon pulse, whatever photon pulse we have, if it's torpedo or not. So I think we should be really able to take those guys out. I think there's no reason going into the next day. Wow, that's really insane. Didn't even think about that. I think we should be good here. yeah, I think those guys are no more. We will attack them. Again, we will not go into any long range stuff, whatever it is. So we will simply defend. So we will play the experimental defenses with a basically shield of 2. Pulse torpedo shield, so it's even the right set. So that's 3 points that are still incoming. We have 4 standard defense, which means, yes, again, we will draw 1 more damage card. In theory, you don't want to take that many damage cards because I could now really call it the end of the round, clean up my deck, and I think you get some negative points for damage cards and wounded heroes. But again, I do not really care about points. I really want to go through the experience here. So yeah, we have dealt with that, and now we have to come up with 5 attack pretty much. That's all because -1. We can now again use our resistance here thing, so 5 attack is really not that big of a deal. So we will do 4. We will not go with the pulse because again they are resistant to it. So that's 4 attack. We will play improvise. That's attack 3. If I discard 1, we will get rid of the seasoned away team for that. So that's 7 attack. Bam! These guys are no more. This Boar Cube is no more. And we are moving on to this, and then we can do all kinds of nasty stuff and getting ourselves an undiscovered card. We get 5 more experience points. So yes, I think this is enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to level us up to the last level. So we are now level 10. Can you believe that? So yet again, we getting another skill token. We get another advanced command card. But again, I do not care about this. We have defeated our 2 Boar Cubes. And I really didn't think it was possible with the amount of cards. I was really worried about the lack of my diplomacy, but especially this one undiscovered card. This was really amazing. This really gave us the crew we needed to take out those Boar Cubes. I mean, it was really key having this other undiscovered card, which allowed me to block that. That Riker did his job well, so he also blocked 1 attack. That was 2 out of those. I think this was really the crucial part. We could eliminate 3 of those tokens with our swing. So I think overall this was really a massive success. I really hope I haven't messed things up in this final episode. I believe the last one was okay. Brad, one of my patrons, already checked it out. He seems to be a very seasoned player of Star Trek Frontiers, so I totally trust him. And yeah, I've taken some of his advice. So really appreciate it, Brad. And so I really hope I haven't messed things up in this episode. If that's the case, I apologize, but that's what it is. I feel kind of happy with the outcome of it. I believe I should be okay. I've made some progress or made some good decisions in respect to engage them. Again, in theory, someone who's really after points would have not gone after this Boar Cube now. They would have maybe healed first and then moved in order to optimize this scoring. But yet again, I do not care about this at all. I want to really feel the challenge. It was challenging, yes, of course. I had still another day left, so that from a time perspective, I was okay. But as Brad also said, I was pretty much okay that both Boar Cubes came out next to each other, so I don't have to move back and forth between the 2. So I think this all helped out and was in my favor. So yes, there was definitely some luck involved in this one too. Really hope you enjoyed it. Really hope to see you soon in one of my other videos. And yeah, until then, bye bye.